our Sunday celebration here at the Black Hills Spiritual Center for Peace. We are so grateful to have you all here with us today, despite smoke and heat and all the stuff. Noise, yeah, the hills are rumbling, that's for sure. But it's all good, right? That's bringing a lot of people into the community, and we welcome them. So this morning I'd like to introduce our amazing music director, Brandon Sterling, and he is going to start us out with a song. Feel free to sing along if you know the words. Stand up and dance if you feel like it, and let's get this party started.
Yeah. All right, it's kind of fun because we've put these binders together, so you can just like flip and open to a binder and then sing that song. So I got one for you. Somewhere in there. There it is. Let's start with the chorus. This is Monty Python. And always look on the bright side of life. Yeah, if you got the whistle. Always look on the light side of life. Alright, so here you go. Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. And other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this will help things turn out for the best. Here we go, the part we know. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, well, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, and don't be silly chumps, just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. You forget it's about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. And always look on the bright side of life. And always look on the light side of life. One more time. And always look on the bright side of life. And always look on the bright side of life. Yeah, good morning.
That was awesome. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so let's have an intention. Juliana, were you going to set our intention and read a inspired reading today? Awesome, thank you.
So I offered to do the inspired reading today and picked up this book because I love the artwork in it, mostly. And there was this nice little leaf in here. So I opened to that page, The Web of Life. To kill the owl is to kill the mountains in their majesty. To kill the bear is to kill the beauty of all living things. The web of life connects grass to fish, trees to turtles, skies to caterpillars. The web of life connects me to everything that came before, even the moment when the earth herself was born. To break the web of life is to fill the universe with pain. So this week, just go out and observe the web of life everywhere you go, because we are all connected. In heart, body, soul, DNA, it's all there. Every plant, every living being, every rock, every stone, the water. We are part of this planet. So with that, go forth and just enjoy the week.
Thank you.
Just set that into place with lighting the candle. Thank you. The web of life.
Thank you.
I love that. No problem. All right, let's take a moment to count some blessings.
Count your blessings, name them one by one.
Who has a blessing? Mike.
Oh, I get to move tomorrow.
Woohoo.
Yay! Count your blessings, see what God has done.
Well, last Sunday I said, looking forward to Tuesday and Barry's procedure and it did.
Good.
Everything. We're done with that journey.
Huh.
Yeah, your blessings, name them one by one.
Chris.
Last weekend, I went to my 120th family reunion. So,
You're 120?
no, it's, no, it was, yeah, 120 years.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Who else?
I finished my dissertation. The summer's over, which feels awesome. I played more gigs this summer than I maybe have in the last 3 years combined. So I'm really looking forward to the consistency that the school year is going to provide. So heck yeah!
That's awesome, Brandon.
Thank you.
Bob.
I can move my arm.
Bob can move his arm. Last week, he wasn't here because he was in severe, severe pain. So that is a blessing.
Basically, I surrendered to God, and all my dreams have been coming true, and it's unexplainable, and so I'm just, that's-
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's powerful. Thank you. Cheryl.
Well, I was blessed that Matthew's boss let him off yesterday and Tom actually felt good enough that we all four went to visit Stevie yesterday and took him his shots, which I know sounds weird, but that's what we do. That's how we honor him. We give him his shot of Rumple Mints. We do a shot. We cuss him for drinking such a rot gut alcohol and stuff, and then we all went out to lunch, and it was pretty good cake, so.
Cheers. Blessings. Anybody else? All right. And I don't see any kids in the audience today, so we're going to do our meditation next, and Kaya is going to be our sound bath person today. So as she comes up, we'll go ahead and welcome her, Kaya Shikana. I got too many sh going in there. But Kaya Shikana is going to do our meditation.
We can just call her beautiful.
She is, and she does a beautiful job. For those of you, if you were here on Wednesday for her sound bath immersion, oh my goodness, powerful, powerful. An hour and a half. I had a huge release. I mean, normally, I'll be honest, I don't cry very often, but whatever happened, woo, I was letting them roll, so it was good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Kaya.
It'll take me a minute.
Good morning, Black Hills Spiritual Center for Peace, and welcome. I'm excited to be here today, even though this thing feels kind of weird right now. We are in August, and the August golden sun, when I was looking at it, it's been very golden this month, and focusing on that time of year and coming into our heart center. Allow yourself to fully settle in. Take some deep breaths in and anchor into the earth through the soles of your feet. Gently close your eyes if you so choose. Turn your attention inward, focusing only on the sound and your breath. In the fading warmth of August, where the golden light descends, we find a sacred sanctuary where the soul and spirit blend. The sun dips low, a glowing burn, a harvest moon on high, reflecting inner truth, not needing to know the whys. Take a deep and cleansing breath. Let the world begin to fade. Release the summer's haste and thoughts that do not serve. From your heels up to your crown, feel the grounding of the earth as healing vibrations offer every cell a new rebirth. Inhale the scent of fragrant earth. Exhale what you release and find within this quest, this quiet breath of deep and lasting peace. There is nothing you must do, nowhere else you need to go. Just be here now, within your soul, and connecting to all there is. as the echoes slowly soften and the silence starts to grow. Carry with you all the serenity that you have come to know. For you are whole and you are enough and you are truly free. Begin to notice the space around you. Feel the calm that you have cultivated. Take some deep breaths. Slowly feel the connection with your sisters and brothers in the room. Come back. Slowly open your eyes and feel the love within your being. And take this with you through your week and come back to this space, keeping your vibrations high. May you be well, may you be happy, and may you be free from suffering. And it is so. Blessed be.
So it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Kaya. Great as always. So appreciate you bringing that, your gift, you know, and sharing it with our community. It really is a beautiful opportunity for everybody to really connect in energy and that web of life, knowing that we are all one. Do we have a song?
Yeah. So I recently started watching Ted Lasso, and it was really unexpected. And so I'm watching season 3 last night, and this kind of captures what I'm doing with my life right now. In it, he's talking on or FaceTiming with his ex-wife, and he says, "I understand that me saying all this might be the wrong thing to do, but I just feel like not saying it, well, that wouldn't be right either." And so I've spent a whole lot of my life just kind of like watching things and not really like saying anything or reacting to it. And I'm finally at a place where it's like, we're gonna set some boundaries. We're gonna do the thing because like, it's my life, right? You only get one of them. Don't do the things you don't want to do. Well, on that note, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I follow close behind her, try to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I went home, my home was lonely, and now my mother, she was gone. All my brothers, sisters crying sad alone? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, one more time. There will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Now I would like to introduce our speaker, Kahu Bob Fahey. And Bob always brings such great messages. So let's go ahead and welcome Bob.
Good morning, peacemongers. I'm gonna experiment with something today. I'm gonna try to sit still when I talk.
Good luck.
Oh, ye of little faith. By the way, don't forget these if you have not seen these. Beautiful Peacemonger Black Hills Spiritual Peace Center t-shirts.
Good job, Bob.
Thanks. Is that it? Well, as usual, I had a couple of things this week that I was going to be specific about. And by the time I got here, there was about 40 things or more. And I'd forgotten a couple of things. I'd done some screenshots of a couple of slides and some things that I wanted to talk about. Something hit me as usual when Kaya was presenting us with her sound bath this morning. Some of the frequencies that hit my body and some of the different reactions that I had to some of the frequencies. As we talk about here a lot, and you hear me talk about it a lot, everything is energy. And so these frequencies matter, and particularly where music is involved. And I would like to say that one thing that we miss in relation to music is nature's music. Even the hum of the motorcycles this morning, I was able to layer into my meditation because it's there. And then when we push against the things that are there that we kind of don't want there, it gives that more attention. You've heard me talk about it before. Energy flows where attention goes. And we become what we most think about, what we do, who we hang out with, and all of that kind of thing. And then we come automatic. I just about started standing up and walking around. And then we become automatic. So it's subconscious. And I talk about this a lot. Thank you for your patience in the things that I repeat. To me, it bears repeating, particularly for me. I don't retain things very easily. I practice things. So neurologically, we have these neurological pathways in our brains that run, and the thoughts fire together, they wire together, and they make a path, just like a path through the forest. If any of you have ever heard of a barn sour horse, it's a horse that will walk a certain path out into the pasture, maybe eat in a certain spot, and walk that path back and forth. And that's it. It becomes just, there's nothing else in life. And an example of that, which I've shared with you before, and I love this story, my dad rode horses to school, and there was a kid that had a horse that was always, his dad said, was a big mouth. I'm wondering which one was the bigger mouth, but he said his friend was, and was always bragging his horse. Dad said he knew his horse could beat him, so they raced on the way home. He lived about a half a mile further down the road than my dad. And they were flying down the road, and Dad said, my horse was just kicking ass, And they get to the turnoff, because they're racing to this guy's house. They get to the turnoff to Dad's house, the horse turns, Dad goes flying down the road. And of course, he heard all about that, and he was so pissed off at his horse. But that's an example. For myself, my daughter lives across town. I go to see my grandkids. Dad, can you stop at the store and pick some stuff up? I'm like, sure, not a problem. Next thing I know, I'll be sitting or pulling into her driveway, and I didn't do that. And it's not necessarily a thing of forgetting, it's wired. So it's not that I'm forgetting, it's not in my field, it's not in my frequency. So when we're making change work, you've heard me talk about this as well. We all did. You've heard me talk about this as well. That, you know, in order to get that change work in, we have to practice it. We have to, you know, we have to make it normal. And the thing about it is you know that you're changing if what you're trying to change into if you're feeling uncomfortable. Because then you're not in your comfort zone. If you're in your comfort zone, you're not changing. You're doing the same routine. And the person who wants that over there is not going to be the same person. You're not going to get there by being the same person. I mean, you might get there, but in order to actually embody what it is that you want isn't going to happen if you're carrying the same person who does not have that thing. So in talking about frequencies and music and everything that's around us and becoming more aware, which we become more aware, hopefully when we're doing these meditations in these silent places, and as Beethoven said, the music is in between the notes. I've talked about it when you go out hiking or you go out walking, look in between the flowers, look in between the leaves, look to see what you can see through the branches. When I practice that, it's really interesting for me because I personally see a whole lot of things that I hadn't seen before that are there. The first time I moved to Hawaii, my brother had been talking to me to come to Hawaii to live with him for years and years. And I finally went, and I lived up the West Coast, down the West Coast, Mexico, you know, Vancouver, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I knew what it was all about in the ocean and that kind of thing. My mother, being from the Philippines, used to talk about it and how much she missed it all the time, and how much she missed the water. When I finally got to Hawaii for the first time, he asked what I wanted to do. I said, take me to the beach. So he took me to the beach. I walked out into the water and I looked down and I looked around and I looked back at the mountains and I looked back at the palm trees that were swaying with the trade winds, and I was like, oh, this has been here this whole time. And I thought I knew what it was going to be like. There's a saying that I learned in neurolinguistic programming training: the map is not the territory. So we can learn all kinds of things from books and that kind of thing, which is a good thing to do. And we can really get into the character of that. But until you actually step into it, you don't know. It's as simple as telling the little kid, the stove is hot, don't touch it. Well, the kid knows the stove is hot, not to touch it. But what does hot mean? Until you touch hot and you get burned, you got no idea what it means. Where am I going with all of this? I have no idea. But I'm going to get there anyway. So, in talking about that, one of the things I think that's important for all of us is our awareness. When I talk about being aware of the music and nature that's all around us all the time, including the silence, is becoming aware of that. You hear me talk about this, becoming an observer and not an absorber. So observe what's happening. So because when someone, I've talked about this a ton, and I think it bears repeating again, is, if someone's telling us a story or where they stand in life or why they have a certain view, it's really easy for me to judge their view because of my lens, my view. But if we sit down and, again, in this political temperature that we have globally now, if we sit down to understand where someone's coming from and listen without imposing ourselves on it, we run the risk of gaining a friend. Because we're willing to listen. It doesn't mean we need to take on their beliefs. But what it means is that this person is going to learn to be comfortable. This is a safe place for me to express who I am with this person, even if they don't necessarily carry the same beliefs. They're not going to judge me for how I walk this thing called life. And I can sit down with them and cry on their shoulder. They'll listen to me and understand that, the pain, the discomfort, the joys, the love, the laughter in life is the same for all of us. Like music, universally, there's no different language when it comes to these emotions and these frequencies that we experience. So, and it's interesting to me, every year when the rally comes around, there's, like everything else, there's a high and a low to it. And how many of the locals do you hear bitch about it?
All of them.
Yeah. A lot, yeah. But they don't bitch when they're taking their money to the bank from everything that happens with it.
Who's gonna learn to play the didgeridoo?
Yeah, there you go. That'll settle you down and it'll put you in a different mental space and frequency for sure. But the thing is what are these people doing? These are, most of these people, or a lot of them anyway, have saved thousands of dollars every year, all year. This is their vacation. This is their life. This is what they love to do. And we offer it up for maybe 2 weeks. It's a week officially. Maybe 2, maybe it'll stretch 2.5 to 3 weeks. And boom, it's gone. Every year. There's adjustments to make. What do you do in your life on a daily basis to make adjustments? Well, if you're walking the same path like Dad's horse, you don't do anything to make any adjustments for it. Maybe that's why it's uncomfortable for you. Maybe it's realizing that living in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota, in my opinion and in my travels and the places that I live, one of the most gloriously beautiful, blessed places on earth. That's one of the payouts. This happens at this time of year. I hate winter. Winter happens every year. It's kind of the same thing, in a sense. What do? I buy some warm clothes, or I put some warm clothes on. I adjust. How I receive what's happening. How often do we think about adjusting and receiving what's happening? I mean, for me, as long as everybody else gets on board with the way I do things, we'll be fine. You do the work. That's the kind of the easy way to see it. I confused one of my employees the other day when I couldn't find him, and they came to my office and said, "I heard you were looking for me." And I said, "I thought I told you to never be somewhere else when I'm looking for you." And I went, "What?" They gang up on me plenty, and it's a lot of fun. But again, what do we actually notice? How, we want a great life. Everybody wants a great life. Everybody wants to feel heard. Everyone wants love. And not everyone gets that, but you can give it to someone who doesn't get it in passing, just by cultivating it in yourself and cultivating that frequency, just like certain frequencies really hit me today. I mean, they always do, but they're different depending upon what I'm going through. And if you share that love frequency and that peace frequency with yourself, number one, when you walk into some place, people are going to feel that frequency. They don't know why. They may not know what happened or why they're feeling better in that moment with you just passing. How many times have you really gotten yourself into a loving, harmonious groove, walked through maybe a grocery store or a department store, not knowing anyone, and strangers are walking by and giving you a big smile? Anybody have that experience? I've had that experience. when I do my prayer work in the morning, if I go out and I play my flutes, I do my breath work and all that kind of thing. If I don't have the same experience. It's an okay experience, but it's like I'm not giving myself the opportunity to live my best life if I don't go out on a daily basis and tap into, excuse me, and tap into those potential energies around me, and go from being potential energies to actual energies that I'm able to manipulate. Or frankly, they manipulate me. You know, the love frequency in particular manipulates every one of us. I'm not talking about the romantic one. That manipulates us too, but the deep love frequency manipulates us into a certain frequency. Manipulation isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, we manipulate our days all the time. And we work as shapeshifters all the time. Kelly and I have had some deep conversations about that. Shapeshifting isn't just going to the jungle and doing some ayahuasca and turning into a jaguar and throwing up all over yourself. You know, so it's what you do on a daily basis. Where are you going? I'm a certain personality and a certain person when I go to work. I'm a certain personality when I go and I play music. I'm a certain personality when I come up here. I'm a certain shape-shifting personality when I go to see my grandsons. I'm a different shape-shifting personality when I work with people with addictions, whatever it is. And so are you. So who are we tapping into when we do this work? So here's my suggestion. In order to really live our best lives, is what is it that we practice? Because I practice being a victim a lot of times, and I lay around going, I probably should go for a walk, maybe go get some fresh air and feel so good. I'd have to get up off the couch. And by the time I get to some of these things, I could have done them 4 or 5 times over. So the point is we have given ourselves, this is a love-hate statement for me, we have given ourselves exactly what we've got, exactly where we are in this moment. And so often, we do this subconsciously because we aren't practicing broadening our field of what's there. Or we aren't observing ourselves and asking ourselves, well, what is this showing me? Why am I getting this certain feeling right now? What brings this trigger up for me? Could be a good trigger, could be a bad trigger, but all triggers are good, frankly, because if you're getting some uncomfortable triggers and frequencies that are happening, that to me, that's a spiritual GPS saying, you know, there's something that's out of harmony. Everybody wants to be the well, maybe not everybody, but you know, the psychic, the medium. I can read all of these things and that kind of thing, and what I have to do. Every one of us, if you just think about your emotions, like I said about a spiritual GPS and the frequencies and the feelings that you get, that's as psychic as anybody's ever going to be. And it's a tool. It's a primordial tool that we've had since the beginning of time that has helped us survive as a species. So what's happening to the species now because it's surviving, and really what I kind of consider a tornado in relation to some of the things that are happening, and destruction of natural resources and all that kind of thing. I don't want to get all political about it, but everything is animated. AI, well, like anything else, it can be a good tool. Morphine can be a good tool. I found out that last week. It was a good tool because it knocked my pain out, but I sure as hell wasn't worth anything other than just kind of laying there, canceling some gigs, canceling talking here last week. So how are we using those tools? I have someone that I work with remotely that is really becoming dependent on AI and doing really a cool job with it. But when I talk to her sometimes, she's like, well, let me check, let me run that through ChatGPT. I'm like, when are you running through whatever it is you're thinking?
Yeah.
Well, I'm paying a lot of money for this. Okay, the other one's free, sort of. What's my point there? My point is, all the AI data centers, whatever. The point is, are we tapping into the most powerful thing that we have, which is our heart and then our brain? Or are we letting someone else do it artificially because it's easier? We live in a quick fix, immediate gratification, what I call microwave world. And I get impatient waiting in line if there's 3 people in front of me. Not too impatient, I mean, I don't go crazy, but I'm like, you know, instead of just observing what's happening around me. Maybe sensing someone in front of me is, you know, under some kind of stress and just sending them love from my heart. Rather than closing myself up into an opinion and taking myself out of what's actually happening around me in life. We all want to live a beautiful, loving life as much as possible. And my suggestion to you is, in order to expand that, pay close attention to what you do when you wake up and what type of breakfast spiritually, mentally, and physically that you give yourself. I'm not telling you to go to the gym. You know, all you gotta do is go out and sit outside with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and just absorb nature and let that happen for you. And tap into that where you become the cleanest receiver is when you become quiet, like the music is in between the notes. When you see your reflection in the lake is when the lake is still, not disturbed with thoughts. You cannot receive anything when we're like this. We receive by being open. And we become open by allowing ourselves to sit still for a while. If you don't know me, you can probably tell I talk more when I'm moving around. And this is actually a pretty good exercise for me. You know, to sit and be still and not get caught up in, well, there's certain ways we do things that we become harmony with and we practice with, and it happens that way. I feel like I channel better if I'm moving. But being able to receive. What do you do in your life, even for a couple of minutes a day, to receive your life? Without judgment. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. One of my favorite teachers in the world is Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you're not familiar with him, you should check him out. But he talks about when he was teaching his kids how to do meditation and manifest things that they wanted. He said, he told his daughter, he said, okay, well, here's the thing. When you sit down in that chair and you're meditating and you are imagining the things that you want, when you get up from that chair, you better be somebody else. Because the person who's sitting down to work on those things doesn't have those things. How does that work? I'll leave you with this, and I've talked about this, and he talks about it in depth, so again, you can tap into that. The things that we want in life and the thoughts that we want are the energy that put it out into the field. These are the things that I want. That's why you always hear a lot of manifestation teachers and people like that talk about feel. Feel what it is that you want. You see that? Feel it. Grab it. Because our thoughts are the energy that put the desire, shall we say, out into the field. Whatever the desire is. Could just be a cup of coffee for that matter, okay? But the thought is the energy that puts it out into the field. Okay. How you feel about it is the magnetic energy that draws it into you and into your experience. So when you think about that, you know, what is it that I want? Get very clear about it, very specific, and then step into that person that is you. Having those things. Imagine in your meditations how it would feel, how it would look, who you would be with, where you would be. And just own it. Every step of it. Step into it. Get every vibration of it. Because that is the magnetic energy that draws the experience to you. You put the thoughts out in the field all day long. But then how do I feel about it? Well, I'm not sure. That's something I've never had before. Probably won't happen for me. I have the worst luck. That's a feeling. That's not just talking, it's a frequency and it's a feeling, and then notice the posture. There's a thing in neurolinguistics also called change your body, change your mind. I've done this experiment with kids a lot. You know, how you sit, how you stand, how you walk, sends a signal to your brain. Your brain goes, oh, we're awake now. What do people look like when they're not feeling very good or they're depressed or something is really heartbreaking for them? It's a close, and then the system, you know, answers to that. Okay, that's how we're wired. Change your posture, and that will help your brain will go, oh, what, something's up. So, own what it is that you want. Figure it out, and see yourself as that person as often as you can. Sitting at a stoplight, standing in the line at the checkout stand, buying gas. Every moment you think about it, you don't have to think about it all day long, but every moment that you think about it, think about it. Think about how it would feel. If, you know, how I feel as that person. Just get deep into that magnetic feeling energy of what you want to feel in your life. We're all very good at, well, this is what I want to see, this is what I want, this is what, but what do you want to feel in your life? If it doesn't feel good, change the feeling, but observe why. Is it a habit? Oh, well, I've never had this. Or it's because I've always done it this way, and this way isn't working. I've always done it this way, and what I want is over that way. That's too bad, because I've always done it this way. You know, and it can be a vicious cycle. But it just, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Every time you think of it, every time you think of what would I like to be feeling? How would I feel if I had, you know, whatever it is? What would it look like if this was different for me? Those little blasts every so often, every time you do them, it's those little steps. You build a building one brick at a time, one thought at a time, one feeling at a time, one I love you all at a time. And I do love you all. Stay clear, be safe, and feel your way into a loving, peaceful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. That was great, as always. Oh, all right. So let me take a look here. Where are we at? It is time for our joyful time of giving. So the Peace Center thrives because of your gifts in the form of time, talent, and treasure. We're grateful for your presence, and we thank you for giving to help support the Peace Center. We're going to be sending some baskets around here in a moment, and if you would just place your gift in the basket or just bless the basket, whatever feels right for you. please go ahead and just do that. And we also have a QR code for our PayPal in the back in the plant area on the table. And if you prefer that, that's always available. And then we also like to leave you with a gift, which is an affirmation. I've got a bowl of affirmations up here, and I've got another bowl in the back. So please feel free to take one of those anytime, either on your way out, or you can come up now or whenever. And, oh, thank you. I was trying to put on my mom voice to get really loud, but I hope everybody could hear me. And, and I also wanted to say thank you to our people online. We've had some of our community online with us today, which is great. I've been talking about this YouTube thing for quite a while, and I see some people actually used it today. So thank you for doing that. That's the whole idea. We want you to be able to connect with the Peace Center, whether you're here in person or have a time when you just can't make it, but you still want to receive. So that's a beautiful way. So thank you, everybody who's online. We appreciate you. And I'm going to pass the baskets, and Brandon's going to play a song.
I'm gonna play some music here.
Leave it to us two, right?
Why is the didgeridoo here?
When?
Who would?
Who would?
I used to have a didgeridoo. I didn't
All right.
really play it, but it was a small
Thank you,
one.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
It
All
sounds
right, so
good.
let me just quickly go over some announcements. We have started just doing a little handout sheet for you that you can take home and put on your refrigerator or your bathroom mirror, wherever you need to know what's coming up here at the Peace Center. And I heard Mike talking about the didgeridoo. And so this is an event that will be coming up in October, actually, but we will have Brian Lotman coming again. He is the traveling monk. And I forget exactly what day it is right now, but it will be in early October. I think it's like the 7th, sticks in my mind. And he brings his didgeridoo and he plays. So that'll be coming up here. October will be here before we know it, right? We're heading into mid-August, and the year is flying by. So just a couple things. Next Monday, a week from tomorrow, we have Drum Circle. That's our monthly Drum Circle event, and we would love to have all of you come and drum with us. You can bring your own percussion or use one of ours. Every Friday at 5:30, we have our Freedom Path 12-step program. Everybody's invited. We currently have our quilt raffle going on, which is this beautiful quilt right here. And I've got tickets right down here if anybody's interested. They're $1, 1 for 10, 3 for 20. We have our shirts, which Bob held up, one of our Peacemonger shirts. And we have another one that's a little bit more masculine, but you're welcome to come up and take a look at that. And those are available through, what's the best way? I've been putting it in our newsletter. So if you're receiving the newsletter, you should see that in there. And if you're not, then leave me your name and email on the table back there. There's an email sheet, and I will get you on that list. And then Menards, so I just had somebody give me a Menards receipt. Thank you very much. If you shop at Menards, but you don't like sending in for those rebates, which I don't, then you can bring them in here and we will send them in, and we use the money from the Menards receipts to purchase light bulbs and furnace filters and just all kinds of things that we need. So it's really very, very helpful. Ways to stay in touch: our website, bhspiritualcenter.org, our email, and you can email anytime at bhspiritualcenter@gmail.com. We also have our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTubes. So thank you again for those people on YouTube. And so those are just different ways that you can also find out what's going on here, because we do have a calendar on our website that we tried real hard to keep updated. And in the fall, we look forward to having even more events, workshops, classes, and different ways that you can connect into spirituality in whatever way that looks for you. More sound baths and all kinds of different things. We're already collaborating on a September sound bath. So, all right.
And that one will be led by Heather,
Oh,
and I will be participating, and she's gonna do an activation process
oh,
that she got in a download. So I'm sure it'll be amazing.
it will be amazing. And Heather, she does such a great job as well. We have very, very talented people here. Bob and Danielle do sound baths that are completely different than what Kaya does, but they're all powerful. They all bring that frequency, that vibration that Bob was talking about, that help unlock things. We have amazing musicians like Brian and Gabriel played for us last week, and Bob plays for us sometimes, and Sue will be back and play for us, and Chaitanya will be back at some point. So we have amazing musicians. We are truly blessed here at the Black Hills Spiritual Center for Peace. And so let's just all take a moment to settle into our seats. Close your eyes if you feel called to do so. And let's take some nice deep breaths and bring in that essence of spirit that flows in, through, and as each and every one of us. That life force, the thing that animates not just us, but everything else, that web of life. We can't escape it. So we need to embrace it. Bring it in, feel it. There's that feeling thing again. When we feel it, it manifests. When we feel it, we know it's real. When we believe it, it gets stronger. That thing called faith. Knowing, feeling, believing, deep down in our inner being, that place where spirit lives within each and every one of us. I know this truth for myself as I know it for each and every one of you. And it is a beautiful thing. It is that love factor that is not the kind of love that we all think we're looking for. It's that deeper, integral, like it just lives in us. And we breathe it in with every breath. And you just can't help but smile, just knowing that that spirit, that love, peace, joy, compassion, all of those things are what make us the beautiful people that we are. So knowing this truth, I just simply say thank you. I say thank you to each and every one of you for being present with us here today, for bringing your presence, your love, your energy, all of it here today in this space. And I know that each and every one of you is going to take this out into the world and let it be the light from the middle of your heart into the next person and the next person, and the plants and the animals and all the things, because that is who we are. That is who you are. So I just simply say thank you, and I release this into the universe, knowing that as we think it, as we speak it, as we feel it, as we believe it, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. All right, well, everybody go and have an amazing day. Keep an eye in your rearview mirror and in your blind spots for those guys out on the highway. And just be safe, be well, be loved, and we'll see you again next week.
He's not sick. My niece is visiting. Yeah, so.
Because there's stay at home. Once in a while.